Hey, what's up? I'm Wes. We are here at Hairstory Studio today, and I am with Miss Jackie. And Miss Jackie, introduce yourself.
Hi, everyone. I am Miss Jackie. That's my favorite introduction. I am product developer here at Hairstory, and I formulated the New Wash trio of products.
And we're going to be talking about apple cider vinegar, my friend. Super buzzy word, but we're going to get to the bottom of this and why this is actually a really powerful ingredient and why Miss Jackie opted to use this in the New Wash tea. For those that don't know, we have a product called New Wash, the original, which is essentially a detergent-free, creamy consistency, really amazing. It cleanses and conditions at the same time. But we also have 2 additional in the family. So why did you add more?
We started off with the New Wash Original formula. And New Wash Original, I would say, works for about 80% of the population. And we decided to come out with the deep and rich formulas because after looking through all of our reviews, and we have so many and some of them are so powerful, people love the formula, but there are 2 ends of the spectrum still that we're having some problems. Okay. One end was the people who tended to get a little bit more oily, and maybe they got oily toward the end of the day. And then there were those who are more dry and needed more moisture. So we decided to work on 2 additional formulas, and that's how deep and rich came to be.
So deep is the formula that is deeper cleaning.
Yes, it
Correct.
is more cleansing.
Okay,
correct.
cool. And one of those key ingredients is the apple cider vinegar, right? So when you Google it, the kids call it ACV.
Yes.
I love that.
Yes.
ACV girl.
I'm so impressed.
Keeping it, you kids keep me young.
Yeah.
Mean Girls joke. But anyway, so the thing is that I'm so interested in. Now, obviously I don't have hair, so I could have gotten oily and this might have been the ticket, but why did you choose apple cider vinegar? Because I'll be completely honest with you. I think apple cider vinegar is nasty, and I'm going to get lots of comments about people who tell me that it's going to change my entire life, and maybe it will, but I cannot stand the smell. I literally cannot stand the smell of this. It freaks me out.
And
my God.
If you put that near me, I will have the same reaction.
It's so gross. I love you people who are super health conscious with kombucha and drinking the ACV all on its own. I think you're geniuses, but I can't get past the smell. So how you hate it too?
I do. It was really difficult for me as a product developer to work with this ingredient, especially with this type of product like New Wash, because it does have a natural fragrance, and the point of having a natural fragrance is for it to be quite light. So how do you balance the smell of the apple cider vinegar with not raising the percentage of the fragrance too much? And that was the hardest thing to do.
And how did you go about striking that balance, right? Because obviously you have to have a certain percentage of the ACV just to be able to allow it to be effective, right?
It was a lot of smelling and different noses and testing. And at some point I had to say, you know what? There's a reason why I chose this ingredient. It's in there. People are going to be excited. I'm hoping that it is in there. And if there is a bit of the smell, you know what? It's actually okay. It's okay.
I personally, I'm not, as you know, obviously you've been watching this video and you've seen my face cringe many a times when I pick up the bottle. I am not a big fan of ACV on its own, but I don't find the smell of this offensive. And I was also nervous because, you know, working with New Wash for so many years, my clients had come to expect this kind of like almost flowery experience at the bowl. And it was like, oh my gosh, how are these people going to respond? Like when I switch this up in terms of trying something like this, trying something like deep. And what I found was people's response was actually surprising. Like they were like, I've had it described as like, they describe it as like clean, but like kind of like, I had someone describe it as like organic clean. I don't know what that means, but I know that I knew where they were going. Right. Like it felt like a really natural kind of clean to them. It wasn't pungent to them. It was balanced enough. But I think for some people looking for a deeper clean, it's also actually kind of a great thing to have a little bit of that sensory part that's actually letting you know, okay, this is a scent that smells like it's like cleaning my scalp effectively.
Yeah. Apple cider vinegar has been in the atmosphere for quite some time.
Right.
Apple cider vinegar rinses, etc. So I wanted to test it out to see if it could actually work as an additional ingredient for a deeper cleanse.
Okay.
And it turns out it does.
Okay.
And there are some really fantastic benefits to apple cider vinegar. It maintains the pH of your hair, which is really important.
Okay.
It acts as a disinfectant, which, as you know, is helpful for infection, and that, you know, decreases the likelihood of any sort of itchiness, etc.
Okay.
It is meant to take away any sort of soil or buildup. That's its main purpose. Another fantastic benefit of ACV that some people may or may not know is that it helps against inflammation. And that is important when you're talking about dandruff. And I'm not saying it stops dandruff, but it does help.
Okay.
It does help with dandruff.
You're someone who has a tendency to get a little oily at the scalp. This is a really great ingredient to have in your product. And I would define oily in my world, not my personal world, obviously. Well, maybe my face a little bit. How am I looking? Probably need a little powder. But back to the point.
Yeah.
But I define oily in my world with my clients. Like the thing that I'm always telling them is I'm like, I define someone who gets oily is not a person who gets oily a couple days in. I define oily as, you know, you're getting oily within the same day that you washed your hair. So this is really designed for those people. What are some of the other things that you brought into the mix in the development of Deep so that you could kind of aid in the other things that you were looking for?
Right. So apple cider vinegar, you know, the main purpose within Deep, as you said, is to assist with a deeper clean. And what's so fantastic about this product is that it is able to provide that deeper clean without stripping the oils. And that is the purpose of New Wash as well.
Right.
So they really work in tandem.
Okay.
Argan oil is another ingredient that is an addition to New Wash Deep. And that actually, too, has cleansing benefits to it.
Okay.
Yes.
See, that's interesting. Argan has been like kind of a little bit of a buzzword for a minute. And so, I mean, sometimes I hear a word so much that I don't actually know what it does anymore. I just hear it in the atmosphere. And also, what I learned a little bit along the way is that you need real argan oil.
Yes.
So, in order for it to be effective.
Yes.
So not argan oils are made alike, my friend.
That's true. And a lot of the argan oils in the atmosphere are combined with silicone.
Oh, okay.
That is not the case here. So ingredients are so interesting because they do have different functions. And argan oil is one of those ingredients. And, you know, people ask me a lot. They pull out a single ingredient and they say, well, this is meant for blah, 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 blah. Actually, they do have different functions. They do have different purposes. And there's a reason why each of the ingredients we chose is within this formula. You have to look at the totality of the formula, right? And not just the individual ingredient. So argan oil, it was actually very interesting for me too, because all you hear is that it aids in extra conditioning or shine, smoothness.
Right.
But the fact is, it does help aid in cleansing too.
ACV is all over the internet. Like, you can Google it and a stream of things pop up. It's in different products. It's in a lot of places now, but I wanted to ask you specifically this question. And this is me getting like hard-hitting news, so I'm feeling really excited about it. So also, there is a part of ACV, whenever I think about it, that falls into the kind of DIY camp of kids, right? They're like, I've been making my own hair wash for 13 years. I've been washing with this, and I hear a lot about this and baking soda. Like, so can you kind of tell me why someone would opt to purchase something versus kind of doing a little DIY mixture of it?
What we do have to remember with ACV is that it is acidic.
Okay.
Right? I don't want you to be scared of that. The acidity actually helps to lower the pH of the hair.
Okay.
Now, if you're thinking about acidity and water on its own, are you getting any sort of moisturizing or conditioning benefits to the hair? No, you're not.
Right.
And so adding this ingredient to a formula like New Wash, you're getting double benefits, right? So you're able to cleanse without stripping oils, right? But you're also able to condition and leave those moisturizing ingredients in the hair to help keep that softness, that health, and that shine. So ACV and water, it may work for some people. It totally might. You're not getting enough moisture into the hair and into the scalp. And that's the importance of having this type of product combined.
At the end of the day, like, we have to look at it as an ingredient that just has a buzzword around it right now. And so, just being aware that it alone isn't as effective as when it's formulated with other ingredients that actually add and contribute to what you were really looking for the overall effect on the hair, not just the cleaning of the scalp. The cleaning of the scalp is one portion, but the reality is that all the new washes are designed so that you can cleanse and condition at the same time. So you had to kind of create that within this formula, even though it was going to be deeper.
Yes.
So that makes a lot of sense to me. What other ingredients did you throw in here to make this all come about and work?
Well, we have our staple ingredients, which for cleansing, it's aloe vera, it's peppermint, it's sunflower seed, it's jojoba oil. And those are really important as essential oils in now combination with the ACV and the argan oil to assist in that deeper clean. And because this is a deeper clean, everybody says to me, well, then it can't be as conditioning, right? So I need a conditioner. That's not actually the case. So that was the other balance we had to strike.
Right.
Yes, the percentage of conditioning ingredients had to be lowered somewhat in order to make the cleansing more effective, but not enough to then have the addition of a conditioner.
Right.
So it is still a cleanser and a conditioner in one.
That's awesome, and this is actually really important for me because, like, with my clients that often have a tendency to get very oily very quickly, I also find that they're looking to condition the hair, but they're actually not looking to kind of over condition the hair, because they find that it actually weighs them down. At the end of the day, like, you want to be able to have that conditioning property, but not so conditioned that you feel like weighed down or heavy. So I think that's one of the balances that like actually strike in particular for people who are kind of looking for a deeper clean, are also looking for a little bit of a lighter condition, more so just as a weight reality. The way that I almost think about it as you're describing it is it's not so much about like straying so far from New Wash Original on either end of those spectrums, but like tweaking them so that everyone can hang out and play in a detergent-free world, right? Correct. So that's awesome. So now I have a little bit of love for ACV.
Oh, I'm so glad. Do you want to drink some?
Sure.
No.
Watch me throw up.
Oh my God.
I want
oh my
God.
God. No.
Can you imagine?
I really thought he was going to do it.
Oh my God. No, I'm not going to do it.
Okay.
I don't think I can.
No.
Even though I should, right? It sounds.
I mean, it's really
it's
good
incredible,
for you.
right?
Really
Yeah.
is. But we'll keep it.
We'll put that over
for
here.
now. It's fine.
So, I mean, today has been such an interesting conversation about the ACV. I love saying that.
I know.
It's so much fun.
We're all going to call it that.
Totally. And it's been great to kind of learn about essentially how ACV is acting as an ingredient alone, and to look at it in a little bit of a different way, even though it's got just this huge buzz happening about it, but actually really its intention and its usefulness in the product deep. So thank you for taking the time to explain everything to us about ACV, all the things that you needed and wanted to know, even some things that you didn't want to know.
Thanks for asking. It was fun.
It was fun. So this is the thing. If you like this video, hey, hit like. And definitely subscribe, because we'll be having more of these conversations along with other topics that we want to cover and that you want to cover. And the best way to reach us and communicate your ideas so that we can start a conversation is to simply comment below. Bye.
Thank you.